Listen, to me, this was a late Christmas gift, and it fell on January 25th, so it was just exactly a month after Christmas, to where Sean Payton, his fastball went from about 95 to 85 in a matter of one game. And I don't want to put this to the extent where I'm not going to give the Patriots any credit or not give them their due. They earned the right to get to Santa Clara to represent the AFC. But, man, Sean Payton, that was a disaster class in coaching yesterday, and I'm sure his mentor, Bill Parcells, somewhere, whether it be in South Jersey or maybe even South Florida for all I know, if he was sipping on a Heineken, I'm sure he spit it right out, because what you saw there yesterday was just a god-awful display of coaching. And I don't know if he's getting roasted today, and if he's not, I'll be the one to do so. Here's a guy that's won a Super Bowl, and I understand he got robbed of another one there with the pass interference against the Rams there down in the Big Easy when he was the coach of the Saints. But he does have, I was going to say Spygate, he does have Bountygate on his shoulders, to where he obviously missed a year as a coach. And for whatever the reason, yesterday, I don't know what in the hell he was thinking. And this is where Sean Payton gets put on the griddle right off the bat. Team is marching down the field, doing what they have to do. Obviously, they're in field goal range, to the point where they're inside the red. Now they get to a point where it's 4th and 1 at the Patriot 14-yard line. First guess, kick a field goal. Because not knowing that there was a snowstorm headed that way at Empower Field at Mile High, but I thought, you know what, don't get cute. It's not as if you have John Elway or even Drew Brees for that matter, or Bo Nix, who's sidelined with that ankle injury. If it was Bo Nix, maybe, just maybe, I'd say, you know what, you could go for it. But Jarrett Stidham is your quarterback. And maybe because he had played well throughout that stretch from that long pass up until that point, he probably thought, oh, well, you know what? Stidham's going to have a great afternoon. I'm going to continue to see what I could do to at least move the chains and maybe get into the end zone. And I get it that in this day and age, you're going to look at the analytics sheet and say you're going to have to go for it. But you know what? You're up 7-0. You get the points there at 10-0, and away you go. And here it was in a scenario where the Broncos now had the ball back. It was north of the 2-minute warning. And on first down, I believe that Jarrett Stidham wanted to go long there to Marvin Mims, but instead he went short, and he actually, this is where he did the chest pass. It looked like he was in the NBA for a second, where he just should have thrown it away. I understand he may have gotten half a yard on that, but to me, that just let the clock keep running, and although the Broncos had one timeout left, and that was a situation where right before the warning, what in the hell is Sean Payton, I was about to say Peyton Manning, what is Sean Payton doing, wanting to go back to the well to a long bomb in that weather? And I understand he had the wind to his back, but what is he doing there? Can you do a 5-yard out? Can you get to a point where you can methodically go down the field? And I get it, maybe the Patriots weren't given that much in the middle of the field, so that's where you got to go out. That's where you got to go with a bubble screen, whatever it is. That is not the conditions to try to go long there when he was successful in the first half. Again, sunshine, all right, the wind, but certainly the inclement weather had just got a 180 to think that, oh, let me just throw another bomb here and let's see if we could get deep into Patriot territory to set us up for a game-time field goal. That was an atrocious play call. What are you doing there? And that's all on Payton. And I understand he's bemoaning the fact about the 4th and 1. Oh, I regret it. That was a terrible play call, whatever, and I'm paraphrasing. But what about that bomb where Christian Gonzalez, I could have caught that pass? And that was the game. And Sean Payton, I don't know. Has the game passed you by? I get it that they were a 1 seed this year, under Bo Nix, of course. And here it was with Jarrett Stidham, who had a great, from that one play up until that 4th and 1, which wasn't his fault. He did not have a good game. They had 1 first down in the second half and 33 yards total. And you can talk about the weather all you want, and I understand, but the game plan should have been adjusted to where, all right, how do we get down the field? What are the Patriots going to give us defensively? All right, we don't have the middle of the field. Marvin Mims, could we go and out, considering they were playing man-to-man? And there was a bit of a cushion there on Mims there in that opening play before he went past him. I mean, it was just a terrible job. And I understand he got snippy there in the postgame with one of the writers. I forgot the terminology that the writer had brought up there with the questioning. And I mean, it's just terrible. And yeah, he was just bitter. Oh, I guess you know more football than I do. Well, I got news for you there, Sean Payton. You certainly know a hell of a lot more football than I do. But what in the hell was that play call on 4th and 1? And then what in the hell was that play call on 2nd and 10 trying to go long in a blizzard? I mean, seriously? If that was John Elway, maybe if that was John Elway. But Jarrett Stidham is not. So I got news for you. If you're a Bronco fan, you got to be sick to your stomach. And to me, this is an all on Stidham. You kind of expected Stidham to play this way. He did have his moments, though. What was that? Midway or late first quarter till about that play about 9 minutes ago in the second quarter, because after that, he was a non-factor. All right? And a lot of that you could attribute to your head coach.